You good? You settled? You gonna stop playing around? No? Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm EmmaAbe, and we talk about books here because we have a little guest today. I mean, she's usually here just like lounging around, but that's my doggo. My doggo. She is a little baby that just wants cuddles, right? All you want is cuddles. She is so cute. She just like curls up. Don't eat that. You cannot eat that. No. I love cuddling with her, and I can't put her down or leave her anywhere because I will miss her too much because I'm attached. So today we are going to be doing a book haul. Super fun. I'm super excited. We got, I mean, not a shit ton of books, but like a lot of books that I normally have in my hauls now because I try to center my hauls on like a theme slash where I get the books. However, I have acquired a bunch of books recently from a bunch of different places that it's like 4 or like less than 4, like a handful at a time. So it doesn't warrant a video in and of itself. So I just decided to kind of smoosh them all together. And these are books that I've gotten over like the past many months. Like, I want to say it's like the beginning of my first 2021 haul. However, that's incorrect because I got some of these books for gifts for the holidays that I haven't shown you guys. Let's go through them. Let's just start here. This guy, Harrow the Ninth. This is by Timothy Muir. This is the second, however the fuck you pronounce her name. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce names. I apologize. I can't decode anything. I tell my parents to make like a blooper reel of the amount of times I mispronounce my students' names, specifically to make fun of me because I'm inept. Anyway, this is the second book in the Locked Tomb trilogy. I think it's gonna be a trilogy. I don't know. And I got this because I loved the first one, Gideon the Ninth. Holy freaking god, oh my god, lesbian necromancers, need I say more? So I got this one because I'm going to buy this, so I might as well buy this now and then read it, audiobook and following along. And so that is what I did, and I loved it. It's hardback. Love the freaking art. It's so beautiful. This, I don't want to spoil anything, but in this one, obviously you follow Harrow, who is a woman you met in the first book, and she is low-key crazy, and I love her for it. I don't really want to say much else. She's essentially achieved all her goals that she thought that she wanted, and they're not quite what they seem. I don't want to say anything else because it's really good, and it's all twisty and turny towards the end, so I loved it. I loved it. Anyway, next, I'll put this dude up here. I need to try somewhat preserve the order in which I read the books. I'm filming this at the end of March. These are all the books that, I mean, they're kind of everywhere. Books I read in March, and I pulled them out because I bought some new. Oh, I got this from Amazon. I know. Don't yell at me, don't hate me. I mean, you can do that. I don't really care. But I had an Amazon gift card, about $25, and I was like, I need to buy this. So I want to buy this, and I bought it. And I actually won the gift card in like a game. And I was like, what better way to use this gift card than buy books? That's usually what I do. Give me a Amazon gift card, it's gonna be spent on books. There's no surprise there. Next book, continuing. This next book is The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. And this is a book that follows 2 twin sisters. They are white passing and they are black, but they're white passing. And one sister decides to fully embrace her heritage and go and marry this really, really dark man. I have some questions about how some of the genetics work in this book. You have the other sister that decides to completely abandon her past and decides to marry this white man and pass in white society. Very interesting, very long story. You follow them and then their daughters. Cover is beautiful. I don't want to say much more about this book. I did wind up reading this. I got this one from Barnes & Noble because I went on an excursion to the nearest Barnes & Noble to me, which is about like 3 miles away. I walked there because I was like, I need to buy some books because I'm emotionally devastated right now, and the only thing that can fill my hole is books, much to the chagrin of my wallet. You know what? Sometimes your lonely ass just needs books, and that's my lonely ass. Needs books all the time. Hence why I buy too many books without reading them fast enough. Anyway, so this is The Vanishing Half. It does have an audiobook, which I think is awesome. I've read the audiobook. Really good. This isn't a review. This is just what this is. So continuing, because we got a lot of books. Oh, right. This got to go up here too, because I read it. Next book is Eat the Buddha, Life and Death in a Tibetan Town by Barbara Demiek. The author is a reporter who's wrote a very famous book about North Korea and her reporting in North Korea. I haven't read the book, haven't even heard about it till I picked up this one, but it kind of is in the same vein where she wanted to go to a place where not a lot of people go to and report on what it is like to live there. So she went to Tibet, and this book tells a little bit of the history of Tibet and following some important strategic people, but also some average people. And it also looks at Tibetan and Chinese relationships. I loved it. Again, this isn't a review, but I also got this from Amazon, but I got it used, so it wasn't printed, if that makes any sense. I mean, you guys are gonna yell at me for buying stuff from Amazon anyway, but sometimes I really wanted to get my hands on this book. This is a book I had to read for the BookTube prize, and it's the only one this round that I felt compelled to buy. That tells you anything. I mean, you can go watch that video. It's out now. That is Eat the Buddha. Put it here, because I don't want to get off my ass. Let's go over here. Squish, squish, squish. I'm gonna squish you, baby. Gonna squish you. Squish, squish, squish. Squish, squish, squish. I'm gonna go get the book. Go get the book. She's like, no. Next one I bought is The Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I read this last year and I loved it. I don't know what it is about necromancers that I've really loved recently in my literature and my fiction, but I've been super into just like really dark necromancy, dealing with like dead in my fantasy. This you follow a young woman. What is her name? Alex. Alex Stern. She can see dead people, what they're called grays. And normally in this world, I mean, it's not a world, it's our world. Normally you have to take like drugs, specific drugs, to be able to see dead people, kind of interact with them. But she just naturally does it. And she can talk with them, hold one-on-one conversations. This is kind of like so that's interesting. It's set in, what is it? Yale. She is a freshman at Yale on scholarship, and she is recruited to be a student for this specific house. And they're all of these houses that deal with different like necromantic or different like dark arts. And it's kind of like a mystery to figure out like what is going on. Like there are these cases of some stuff disappearing and people getting hurt. So what is the tea? There was a murder. It's basically her figuring it out, and I loved it. I loved how dark it was. And it's made me really interested in Leigh Bardugo's other work. Haven't picked any of it up since, but as you can tell, I have lots of books that I have yet to read. I picked this guy up at Barnes & Noble. The next book I got is Edgar Allan Poe classic stories. So his classic stories. It's a collection of classic stories. This is one of the like Barnes & Noble. This is Edgar Allan Poe's collection of short stories. I love his work. I'm one of those people. I didn't have an actual like collection of his work. It's so weird because like I love his stuff so much that I don't know why. Again, lots of dark vibes. I got this again from the Barnes & Noble. Lots of, you'll see when I show you the last one that I got from Barnes & Noble. It's like a bit of poetry in there, lots of his classic works, and I'm glad to finally have a edition. This is like a nice like faux leather like bound edition, and I love the art. Look at the art on the inside. When I saw this, I was sold. I decided I was gonna pick up one of like the Barnes & Noble's like classic bound editions that they had, and I went with this one because it's beautiful and it's Edgar Allan Poe. This is the last one that I got from my trip to Barnes & Noble. And it's Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. As of the filming of this video, which is at the end of March, I have not read this, but this was one of those books when I was looking through the list of all of the books that I'm going to have to read for the winners of the Goodreads Choice Awards, this is one that I kind of had this like gut instinct, so it's like, if I don't read this and follow along, then I will be sorely like upset with myself, and if I don't own a copy, I will be upset with myself. So that's why I got this one, and this is actually the book that I went intending to buy. I wasn't intending to buy these guys, I just did because I have a problem. It was this one and also Harrow, but they didn't have a copy of Harrow, so I just ordered it off from Amazon. This follows a Yadriel is trans, and he wants to be a brujo. He wants to prove his prowess, and he winds up summoning someone he should not have summoned or didn't intend to summon. There'd be a little bit of romance in there. This feels very, very appropriate to read for Dia de Muertos, so I might try to read it around that time, but I have no idea because I'm just so excited to read this. I might just jump the gun. Read it anyway. But again, beautiful, and I was just like, I was like, I'm going to love this for the Latinx representation. I'm going to love this for the queer representation. I just need to get this. And I've heard just such amazing things about this from other booktubers. I was like, I just need to get this because I'm going to read this. So I need to get this. Let's try to organize these a teensy bit. Okay, great. Now moving on to another set of books. So this one is Queens of Geek. This is by Jen Wild, and it's 2 love stories. This is one that one of my BookTube friends has been hounding at me to read, and that is the Bookish Writer. I will leave their channel down below so you can go check them out. This is one of their favorite books. Like, they love this so much, constantly is pushing me and everybody that they know to read it. I saw this and I was like, well, I guess it's fate. I just have to get this. So this, as you can probably tell, is a old library copy. So by the place where I work, which is a high school, because I be a teacher, they like give out books for free that haven't been checked out like recently. I don't know what their standards are for this, but for instance, this was last checked out on October 25th in 2018. So that was almost 3 years ago. So they put this on the trolley and they just were like, hey, free books, anybody can go get it. This was only open for the teachers. Normally it's open for everybody. I've picked up some other books from there in the past. I saw this and I was like, yes, I need this. I want to have this so I can tell a bookstrader that I read it. But I'm very excited. I know it's got queer. I know it's got autism rep. I don't know anything about this book other than there's queer shit and disability rep, autistic rep, and I'm all for it. This is Be More Chill by Ned Vizzini, and this is a musical. The musical is how I was first introduced to this story. It's not one of my favorite musicals, although some of my friends will like completely bash me for saying that. I've seen the off-Broadway production bootleg because I cannot pay to go see as many shows as I would like, but this is the book that show is based off of. I'm not really sure how much I'm going to like this specifically, because I think where a lot of my enjoyment for the show comes off is for the innovative, or maybe not innovative, but like the songs themselves. The songs are all really, really fun. It's a relatively simple story. You have this teenage boy, what the fuck is his name? Jeremy. Jeremy wants to get like with this girl, wants to be seen as cool, and maybe not necessarily like cool, but just kind of wants to, you know, survive and not be as bullied as he is. So there's these things called squibs that you can take as a pill, and they will basically tell you how to live your life and be cool, or get whatever you desire. And they turned out to be more sinister than they originally appeared to be. So that's like the basic story, at least from the point of view of the musical. And the book could be really different, and I don't know. So yeah, I just figured I'd give it a shot because I find the music in the musical enjoyable. And again, if I don't like it, I can just pass it on to like a little free library or something somewhere. And I also got this from my workplace's like library giveaway thing. Next book I got is Saving Fish from Drowning by Amy Tan. I know absolutely nothing about this book other than it's written by Amy Tan. I really liked the Joy Luck Club, and that's honestly why I picked it up. Again, I got this from my workplace's like library thing, so it was free. I figured, you know, again, low risk, high reward. That's how I feel like going into a lot of those types of things where it's libraries giving out books for free that you can keep and own. I'll be like, oh yes, I will just take whatever because of course I will. Okay, last book that I got from the library, my work library giveaway thing. I don't really know what else to call it. If you guys have a better word for it, let me know. Are you tired? Baby says hi. They want to see you because you're so cute. And I want to sniff your head because I like sniffing your head. This last book is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Enough said. It's The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I watched the movie. Love the movie. Everyone sings his praises. So when I saw it for free, I was just like, heck yeah, I'm gonna pick this up. How has not everybody else snagged this? How's this not been gone? Maybe there are like 10 copies of The Hate You Give and I just happened to get the last one. I'm so happy to own an actual copy of this now. Okay, now transitioning to some other books that I got for free through various means. My mom got onto this Facebook like group that's, I think there's like chapters, not really chapters, I think there's like bunch of Facebook groups for like different local areas. So she's gotten to the one for like my local area and it's like Buy Nothing. And it's just a Facebook group where people post things like from around their house that they don't want anymore. So like bowls, different things like that. And people post books. So these next two books are books that I got through this Buy Nothing thing. Yeah, my mom's addicted to it. She's constantly scrolling and it's just like, oh my gosh, like, hey, EmmaAbe, do you want this? Hey, EmmaAbe siblings, do you want this? And it's low-key annoying, but I love getting free books out of it. And it's always kind of like a lottery, and I just happened to look out to get these next two. This next one is American Gods. The first one I got through Buy Nothing was American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I know it is a TV show. I never got to see the TV show because Netflix so rudely took it off Netflix before I could start watching it. But I know some of my best friends really, really liked this, and I want to get into more of like Neil Gaiman's work because I really enjoyed the Amazon series Good Omens. I thought this could be interesting. I know it's like twisted versions of different deities. I have no idea which gods, but there are a bunch of different gods from different cultures. I think Zeus is in it. There might be some from Norse mythology, I think some African mythologies, and Native American mythology. And I just thought that was kind of interesting. Like, they're still around, I think. I'm not sure how it works exactly, but I was excited about it. I was like, I love like twisted fairy tales and like mythology retellings, so I thought this would be interesting to look at, and I thought that I would enjoy it. And again, got it for free, so worth it. The other one that I got is The Outsiders. So I did have a copy of The Outsiders, but again, my mom was just like putting her name down for practically everything. And she's like, EmmaAbe, would you want this? And I was like, that is a beautiful copy of The Outsiders. So yes, I want that. Outsiders, one of my favorite stories of all time. I love it so much. I cry every time I read this book, but this edition was just looked so beautiful. Here's like taken, oh my gosh, I didn't even notice. It has like a little like outprint of the boys. Here is the inside of like the jacket. I was just like, this is beautiful. I want this copy. Those are the books that I got through the Buy Nothing thing. So this last book is stuff that were given to me for the holidays and holiday celebrations. There's only 3, which I was low-key disappointed for because I love getting lots of books for holidays. First one is How It All Blew Up by Arvin Hamadi. I didn't ask for this one specifically. However, I know it's queer. I know it's a coming out story, and I know they'd be dealing with racism. My mom read this after actually she got it for me. She like bought it for me for the holidays, and then she read it, and she's been pressuring me to read it. And it's just like, okay, like I'm saving it for the contemporary readathon. But I'm excited to read this. Because guess what? I love queer stories. What do you know? Queer people love queer stories. Oh my god, shocker, right? So I think like the conceit is that, from what my mother has told me, he's on a plane and like he's forcibly, I think, somehow got slipped to his family and his parents that he's gay. They don't take kindly to it, and they are on a plane for some reason. They get into a heated argument, and because they're Muslim, I don't know what in terms of like ethnicity they are, but it's a Muslim family. They get into a heated argument on a plane. Racism ensues, and they're detained. And I think it explains kind of like how we got there from point A to point B. Otherwise, I don't know much about it. My mom loved it. I'm excited to read this. The next book is Sex with the Presidents, Ins and Outs of Love and Lust in the White House by Eleanor Herman. Need you say more? I think my mom thinks I'm obsessed with sex. Even though that's not true, I am a healthy amount interested in sex. Thank you very much. She enjoys buying me books with the word sex in the title. But I do think it's interesting. It'll be really interesting to see how this book navigates like the power dynamics, because it's like the president of the United States and whoever they're having sex with. I know lots of presidents have had lots of sexcapades, if you want to call them that. I'm interested. I don't know what to expect out of this, but it's nonfiction, and I haven't had a lot of nonfiction on this list. I think this might be the first one. Yeah, except for Eat the Buddha. Eat the Buddha was the only other nonfiction, which is really interesting. I've been buying a lot of fiction recently, which I think is good because I'm trying to expand my horizons. The very last one is Heartstopper Volume 2. I specifically requested, when the family was asking me for gifts, the Heartstopper books, because they won the Goodreads Choice Awards for like comic. Volume 3 did. And Dad was like, I do not want to read this on a PDF. I do not enjoy consuming graphic novels and comic books through PDFs or ebooks. I really, really like having the physical copy. And this is the only Heartstopper one that they could find. I've read the first one. I'm very excited to get into this one. However, I'm forcing myself to finish this other biography before I get into this. This is a story about two boys falling in love. Guess what? It's gay. It's queer. Oh my god. What a shocker. Nick and Charlie falling in love, and they cute. That's all I'm gonna say is they cute. They adorable. They're adorable dumbasses, and I love adorable dumbasses, especially when they're queer adorable dumbasses. That's this video. I hope you guys liked it. I think this little one, are you ready to curl up and go to bed and not have me shuffle around books all the time? You're like, yes. All right, that is it for me. Goodbye. Let me know, what are some of the books that you've liked recently that you've picked up, or are you deeply interested in any of the books that I have shown you? I don't know. Let me know. All right, I will. Goodbye.